She gave it a shout-out on the red carpet at the Vodafone Music Awards last night, but Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says she no longer shops at second-hand clothing chain SaveMart after Checkpoint revealed the unsafe and unsanitary conditions workers were forced to endure there. Jacinda Ardern was asked the usual opening question every red carpet reporter uses to get the ball rolling last night: who are you wearing? The answer was a New Zealand designer, as expected, but also a credit to SaveMart, which Checkpoint has been investigating now for 2 months. Here's Zach Fleming with more.
Amidst the glitz and the glam of the Music Awards red carpet,
good evening, Prime Minister.
taking a break from the hard questions after a week in Asia at APEC and the East Asia Summit, last night the questions for Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern were all about what she was wearing. It was New Zealand designer Juliette Hogan, price tag around $500. And
I've got a jacket from SaveMart as well.
Are you serious?
It's fake, of course. You'd never.
But it's from
SaveMart.
SaveMart.
Never real fur, fake fur.
Yeah. And it's
from
from
SaveMart.
SaveMart.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
SaveMart Hastings.
Checkpoint has been investigating SaveMart since September. We've heard the stories of more than 100 workers, like Danielle, who worked at the Hastings store, the same SaveMart our Prime Minister bought her faux fur coat from.
I would rather eat a steaming pile of dog shit before I ever worked there again.
Danielle's minimum wage job was sorting through big bales of clothes, donated at those familiar blue bins with child cancer written on the side.
There was a dead cat in one, feces, dirty sanitary items, you name it, anything. Yeah.
And were you allowed to wear gloves when you were sorting through all these things?
Definitely not. That was a big no-no.
SaveMart has 33 stores across the country. But regardless of which one they worked at, the staff Checkpoint spoke to all shared similar stories.
It was disgusting. I was worried all the time. You'd get off for lunch break and we had no hot water in any of the stores either. So you'd kind of be either trying to find some hand sanitizer to clean yourself or, most of the time there was no soap either provided. So you're just trying to scrub off your hands after touching like urine and feces and dirt and mold and it just kind of, you don't even want to go to lunch and eat. I was always coming home and you'd blow your nose and you'd have dust, like black dust coming out of your nose and things like that as well. And if you get an itch on your face, you don't want to scratch your face because your hands will always smell like terrible.
Danielle was told the same thing as every other worker we've spoken to. No gloves, because otherwise they couldn't feel the texture and quality of the clothes, or whether they were wet.
No, we were not supplied and we were told not to wear them.
That was Levin, this is Tauranga.
The gloves were never supplied, they were never an option.
And Christchurch.
We were told you weren't allowed to wear gloves because you can't feel if the clothing's damp or the type of fabric.
And back to Danielle in Hastings.
I asked, well, what if I kind of supplied my own? And they said no. And if they caught us with gloves on, that we would get in pretty major trouble.
But it's not just the dead cat, the feces, the urine, or the used tampons.
Sorting through the bales one day, I reached down and I felt a sharp prick on my finger, and it took me about half an hour to search through the bale to find what I'd been pricked by, and it was a diabetic needle. At least I think that's what it was. I ran to the manager and I told her, look, I've just been pricked by a needle. I need to go to the doctors. Can I take off work and go to the doctors and get it checked out? And she proceeded to laugh at me, and she basically told me to suck it up and deal with it and get back to work.
SaveMart was put on notice at the end of September. WorkSafe gave it 5 months, until February 21st, to fix the issues. Since then, a health and safety consultant has been employed. Owner Tom Doonan has refused all of Checkpoint's interview requests over the past 2 months. He hung up when we called him today, but he said via email he's made gloves available to all staff in all 33 stores. The Child Cancer Foundation said back in September it was concerned about the issues raised by SaveMart staff and would meet with Tom Doonan. 2 months later, its chief executive, Robin Kiddle, is yet to have that meeting due to scheduling challenges. A spokesperson for the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, said in a statement this afternoon her faux fur jacket was bought from SaveMart in Hastings years ago. The statement ended by saying since she became aware of the issues at SaveMart raised by Checkpoint, quote, she has not set foot in the shops again. For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.